Sebastian Kingsley was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but by the age of 30, he had forged one of gold. The son of an engineer and a school teacher from Boston, Sebastian's innate acumen for finance and investments was evident from a young age. His childhood was punctuated with tales of his exploits, buying candy in bulk and selling it at a premium at school, or investing his allowance in budding tech companies that would become giants in the future. His 20s were marked by aggressive takeovers, shrewd mergers, and the launch of Kingstech, a tech conglomerate that would make Sebastian the youngest billionaire in the United States. By the time he was 28, financial magazines featured him on their covers, calling him the golden boy of Wall Street or the king of Silicon Valley. But what truly set Sebastian apart was not just his prodigious ability to amass wealth, but his unabashed delight in spending it. Where most billionaires in his echelon were content to grow their money, quietly living in luxury, Sebastian was a force of nature, sweeping through elite circles like a tempest of extravagance. Cars were his first love. By the age of 32, his collection was already unparalleled. From vintage Bugattis to the latest hypercars, his expansive garage was a testament to a century of automotive evolution. If a car had history, speed, or sheer audacity, it found a home with Sebastian. His love for speed didn't stop on land. He purchased a Formula One team just for the sheer pleasure of being close to the action and, occasionally, testing the cars himself. Then came the yachts. The King's Voyage was the crown jewel, a 500-foot mega yacht with every luxury one could imagine, a helipad, a mini-submarine, state-of-the-art entertainment systems, and a crew that included a Michelin-starred chef. It was rumored that the cost of maintaining the yacht was upwards of $10 million a year, but to Sebastian, the ability to sail the world on a whim was priceless. Planes were his next playground. While most billionaires were content with a private jet or two, Sebastian owned a fleet. From a Gulfstream G700 for quick jaunts across the country to a customized Airbus A380, typically used for commercial flights, for long-haul trips with a large entourage. Each was fitted with interiors that rivaled five-star hotels, and he was known to throw lavish parties in the skies. Time, to Sebastian, was the ultimate luxury. And what better way to honor it than with watches? His collection was a horologist's stream. Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, Breguet, these were not just names to him but stories. Each watch was a piece of art, a testament to human ingenuity and craftsmanship. His collection was said to be insured for over $100 million, and he was often seen wearing a different masterpiece on his wrist every day. And then there were the homes. From a penthouse in New York City that overlooked Central Park to a sprawling estate in the south of France, every property was a monument to luxury. Each home was uniquely designed, reflecting the culture and essence of its location. However, they all had one thing in common: opulence. Yet, with all his extravagant purchases and unapologetic displays of wealth, there was an enigma to Sebastian Kingsley. Those who knew him spoke of a man who, despite his larger-than-life persona, was deeply introspective. His extravagance was not for show or to satisfy some societal expectation. No, for Sebastian, each purchase, each experience, was a celebration of life's potential. The world watched in a mixture of awe and envy. Was it possible for one man to have it all? The wealth, the toys, the freedom? But behind the facade of limitless luxury, there were whispers. Whispers about the true source of his wealth, about business deals in the shadows, and alliances with powers beyond comprehension. As the years went by, the world waited for the next chapter in the extraordinary life of Sebastian Kingsley. Would it be another spectacle of opulence or the unraveling of a carefully crafted image? Only time would tell. As the years sped by, the world's fascination with Sebastian Kingsley only grew. His spending was a spectacle, his lifestyle the subject of countless articles and television specials. But as the spotlight on him grew brighter, so did the shadows around him. Rumors began to emerge of secretive meetings in far-off locales, of strange men visiting his estates under the cover of darkness. Some said he was involved in clandestine arms deals, others whispered about ties to global underground syndicates. The most outlandish theory, favored by tabloid magazines, was that he was part of an ancient secret society that truly controlled the world's wealth and power. One evening, a journalist named Lara Mendez managed to infiltrate one of Sebastian's famed sky parties aboard his Airbus A380. Hidden among the glitterati, she hoped to find evidence of his illicit dealings. Instead, she found herself in a surreal environment. Amidst the opulence, there was a tangible tension. Guests conversed in hushed tones, and many seemed more observers than participants. However, it was a chance encounter in the plane's expansive lounge that would change her perspective. Lara found herself seated next to an elderly gentleman, his face etched with the lines of time. They struck up a conversation, and she soon learned he was a close friend of Sebastian's late father. The man spoke of a young Sebastian, whose insatiable curiosity led him to the far corners of the world. He talked about a trip to Tibet, where Sebastian spent months with monks, learning about the impermanence of life. There was the year in Africa, where he lived with nomadic tribes, understanding the true value of community and shared experiences. As the plane soared over the Atlantic, the elderly man painted a picture of Sebastian that the world hadn't seen. Beneath the billionaire's love for luxury was a profound appreciation for the ephemeral nature of life. Every car, yacht, or watch wasn't just an object, it was a memento mori, a reminder of life's fleeting beauty. But what about the rumors? The shady deals and secret societies? The man chuckled softly. Sebastian has always had a flair for the dramatic. He loves playing the part, letting the world speculate. But his true dealings are far less sinister. He's been using his wealth to fund research into sustainable energy, conservation projects, and education for the underprivileged. The strange men you hear of are scientists, educators, and activists. The revelation was staggering. Could it be that the world's most ostentatious billionaire was also its most secretive philanthropist? The plane landed at dawn, and as guests disembarked, they were greeted by the sight of the King's Voyage anchored off the coast, the morning sun glinting off its polished decks. Lara approached Sebastian, armed with her new knowledge, questions burning in her eyes. But before she could speak, he smiled, a genuine, warm smile, and said, "Sometimes, the best way to change the world is to let it underestimate you." The world saw Sebastian Kingsley as a playboy billionaire, but beneath the surface was a depth few could fathom. He was a man dancing on the edge of shadows and sunsets, always reminding himself, and perhaps others, of the beautiful fragility of life. Sebastian Kingsley was no longer the young prodigious billionaire the world had once been introduced to. Age had added streaks of silver to his hair and wisdom to his eyes. As the years rolled on, the flashy headlines faded, replaced with a quiet respect that few of his stature managed to command. The vast majority of Sebastian's fleet of cars, planes, and yachts were auctioned off. They fetched sums that made headlines, but what truly astounded the world was his next move. Every penny from the sales was directed towards building the Kingsley Foundation, an organization that aimed to nurture innovation, foster education, and empower the underprivileged. Gone were the days of extravagant parties in the sky. Now, his once opulent Airbus A380 was retrofitted and transformed into a traveling university. The plane journeyed to remote corners of the world, offering seminars, workshops, and training sessions. Top educators, scientists, and change-makers were regularly on board, imparting knowledge to those who thirsted for it. The King's Voyage, the mega yacht that once hosted elites and celebrities, was now a floating hospital. With state-of-the-art medical facilities, it sailed to regions where healthcare was a distant dream, offering medical assistance and changing countless lives in its wake. Lara Mendez, the journalist who once sought to uncover Sebastian's secrets, now became his foundation's chief communicator. Through documentaries, articles, and digital outreach, she showcased the transformative work being undertaken by the Kingsley Foundation. Sebastian's watch collection, once his prized possession, became the centerpiece of a global exhibition. Titled The Passage of Time, it not only displayed the horological masterpieces but also delved deep into the stories of the craftsman, the evolution of timekeeping, and the impermanence of life. All proceeds from the exhibition went towards funding educational scholarships. It became clear that while Sebastian's earlier years were a display of personal indulgence, his later years were about collective empowerment. His understanding of life's ephemerality had translated into creating lasting impacts, ensuring his legacy would live on beyond his time. The world had witnessed Sebastian Kingsley's transformation from a symbol of decadence to a beacon of hope. He had shown that true luxury wasn't in the things one owned but in the lives one touched. In his twilight years, a journalist asked him, "Mr. Kingsley, how would you like to be remembered?" Sebastian, gazing into the horizon, responded, "As someone who realized that time, once gone, never returns. But what we do with that time, how we use it to impact others, can make it timeless." And timeless he became. The name Sebastian Kingsley became synonymous with transformation, philanthropy, and a testament to the human capacity for change. His journey served as a reminder that life wasn't about the wealth one amassed, but the legacy one left behind. And so, the legend of Sebastian Kingsley, the billionaire who danced between indulgence and impact, was etched into the annals of time. Not as a tale of opulence, but as a story of a man who understood the true value of life.